Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to do a really quick lesson. I know a lot of you are probably bored already. Don't tell your parents they're going to make you clean your room. Remember when I told you to do that before the weekend? Because I knew it was coming, and we all need to clean up those germs anyway. Here's the project I'm doing. More simple silhouette tree. Older students, you can advance this. You could go outside and look at trees in your neighborhood, or look up pictures online, or if you just want to go outside and snap a picture. I know it's kind of dreary and has been raining off and on. A simpler version for some of the younger students would be a flower filled with line and pattern, okay? But in the background, I don't know how well you can see that, there is a bubble wrap print. So this is super fun. And super easy because I'm using watercolor paint for one, just so you can see what that looks like, and Crayola marker for the other. No water required for the Crayola marker version, and I'll tell you what, this is the first time I've tried it, but I had a feeling it was going to work. I'm actually happier with the way the Crayola markers look and are performing on this project than the watercolor. But if you want to try it both ways, go for it. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to do this. This was just a simple piece of copy paper. You can see it bled through. So make sure you have a mat or something to cover your desk or your kitchen table, whatever you're using, so you don't end up with a mess everywhere. I used just general Crayola markers. The thick ones, thin ones will work too. And a simple paintbrush when I use the watercolor. I have my watercolor set ready to go. And if you want, if you have a Sharpie instead of a black marker, you can use a Sharpie too. Again, make sure you have something down, either newspaper or old magazine, something underneath whatever you're drawing on, so that you don't get it all over your table that you're working on. I'm going to do this in my composition notebook that I've turned into a sketchbook, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Simply take your bubble wrap. I just tore off a small piece. You can cut it or whatever. If you want to do a big one, go for it. And I'm just going to scribble on here with a few colors. So purple and green. And I think I'm going to do blue for this one. And I'm just going to, you can mix them in together. It might get on the end of your marker. You could just wipe it off on another piece of paper. If they do end up blending together, I kind of like the way that looks. So this is the best version I have seen, like the way the print comes out. Now, obviously, my paper is much bigger than my bubble wrap, but I just press. The marker side went down on the paper. If I just press, then I end up with a print. This is printmaking. Those of you who think you didn't know what that was, or maybe you thought you knew, oh, I made a mess of my hands. Be careful. There's still some left on here. You can also just keep printing until all that stuff is gone. It gives you what's called a ghost print, which is a lot of fun too, because it's a lighter version of the original color. Now, as I'm sliding it around, I'm realizing I'm making a big giant mess. So I'm going to stop with that. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like to do it with watercolor. Obviously, you're going to need a little water and a paintbrush for this. So I'm just going to take... I'm going to do warm colors this time. So red, and I'm just doing on the same page. I should clean this off. Let me do that really fast. I am going to do it on the same bubble wrap though. I just had too much marker left, and so my colors are turning brown. So I'm just going to grab some red, clean my brush off, back into my orange. Remember guys, I know you're at home. Same rules that I teach you in the classroom are important now too. Check your brush, clean your brush, make sure that you're not ruining your supplies. You're going to need them. And if your colors all change to weird colors, or you end up with one big muddy brown color, then that's because you're not cleaning your brush out. So you can have a simple cup of water, a plastic cup. It needs to be like an inch or so of water in the bottom. Again, take that bubble wrap, turn it over, and press. Now with the watercolor, you definitely want to make sure you don't have big giant puddles on there. And I'm going to try and see if I can get a ghost out of this. And you don't want to move it around. Now if I pick this up to show you, it might drip. So you can see where there's water kind of puddled, especially that orange spot is starting to drip. So you want to let this lay flat to dry, but once it's dry, probably in about 10 minutes, you'll be good to go with the marker. So here we go. Marker time. I'm just going to use a simple Crayola marker. We all seem to have those, and it does not have to be black. It could be any color you want. For the flower, I'm going to start on this side because it's dry. The watercolor is still wet, so while I'm working on this side, that side will have a chance to dry. Great time to use two different materials. So for my younger students, I did a flower. So just draw a simple flower, a circle in the middle, big, long, curved petals. You could make this any kind of flower you want. If you want to look up YouTube videos of how to draw different flowers or step-by-step guides, please refer back to the resources I gave you and all the links. I know a lot of other artists and art teachers out there are posting tons of free content right now for you to be creative with whatever you would like. Parents, if you are on Instagram or Facebook, I know a lot of teachers and companies are offering free resources for you as well, as we're all kind of trying to navigate this. So basically, a simple little flower, and then on this side, I'm gonna do the tree. But I'm gonna need to pause for a minute because I gotta help this one dry. This one, we're gonna add lines. We've talked about this in class, but just a quick review. You can do dashed lines, you could do dotted lines, we could do wavy lines, we can do zigzag lines. Trying to think of the other ones I used. Of course, we can have horizontal lines, we can do vertical lines, diagonal lines, and I think that covers just about everything. Oh, yeah, just about everything that I put in the original artwork. So if we look back at this one, you kind of have everything right there. So all the different types of lines will fill in each individual petal, okay? So you would just draw, and I drew lines like down the middle of the petal to kind of break it into two sections. And then I added the different types of lines. Like if I just do dots here on one side, I would fill the other side with dots. But I'm not going to finish this one because I want you guys to be creative and come up with your own plans and your own ideas. I know you can do it. Oh, by the way, if you're painting with watercolor, make sure you wear a smock or an old shirt. I dripped on myself earlier, so it can be messy sometimes. Of course, my hands are a mess too. Baby wipes are great to clean up really quickly if you have them around. On this side, we're going to do a tree, all right? So we are simply drawing a trunk straight up the middle of the paper. So start there, and then we're going to make sure our branches all reach out and up. My paper is still a little wet, so I did not wait or dry it. A blow dryer works really well for this. If you would like to just dry your paper off, or just wait a few minutes, go grab a snack and come back. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. So I'm just adding branches. So trees grow like flowers do, towards the sun, so up, all right? Your branches shouldn't be coming down below the tree trunk at any point when you're drawing them. And I like to kind of make it look like veins of a leaf and then add little branches on the ends. So this is a very simplified version. Obviously, I'm drawing in marker, so it doesn't give me a lot of opportunity for super fine lines or extra details. But if you want to use pencil, go for it. This is where the fun of e-learning and kind of using what you have is exciting and different than what we would typically do in the classroom. So don't be afraid to experiment and try different things. Maybe you want to take watercolor and make a black silhouette tree with your watercolors. That is totally fine. And if you have questions, comments, anything that you would like to say, or you have a question about what we're doing, please reach out. I am checking my messages as often as I can. About 3 o'clock is when I sign out for the day so that I can have some family time as well. But I am here to assist you, be it parents, friends, family, teachers, caregivers, whoever might be out there watching, I appreciate your interest in what we're doing here and the way we're trying to make this happen for everybody at home. So I'm just going to fill in my tree trunk, and I kind of just make a little V in the middle. My marker got a little messed up because it got wet paint on it. Whoops. But you can see where it's a little thicker. I need to go in and clean this up a little bit. So I have some thicker spots and some thinner ones. I would just want to make that consistent. But there's my tree. Pretty simple, kind of nice little 5 minutes of calm and peace and Zen time drawing. I hope you guys had fun. Thanks so much.